At 3:17 a.m. in a quiet suburb outside Columbus, Ohio, Daniel Harper woke up to 3 slow, deliberate knocks on his front door. He thought it was a dream and repeated it the next night. The house was alone and the neighborhood was peaceful. Through the peephole, he saw no one and opened the door quickly. There were no footsteps or cars, just silence. On the third night, he didn't even check. He just sat in his bed staring at the door, waiting. And right on time, at exactly 3:17 a.m., the knocking returned. That's when he called 911. His voice was shaking as he told the dispatcher someone was outside his house, but disappearing every time he tried to see them. Police arrived within minutes, searched the yard, checked the street, even spoke to neighbors. Nothing. They suggested it might be kids playing a prank and told him to install cameras. Daniel took their advice seriously. He installed 4 security cameras around his property front porch. He told himself if it happened again, he'd finally have proof. 5 nights later, at 3:17 a.m., the knocking came back. The next morning, Daniel checked the footage. The porch camera showed absolutely nothing when the knocking happened. No person, no shadow, no movement. But when he opened the backyard camera footage, his stomach dropped. A figure was crawling along the side of his house. Not walking. Crawling low to the ground, slowly, deliberately, like it didn't want to be seen. The figure stopped directly, beneath his bedroom window, and remained there for nearly 40 seconds without moving. Daniel said when he watched it, he felt physically sick. He immediately called police again. This time, officers searched beyond his yard. 2 houses down was an abandoned property with a broken fence. Behind it sat a small storage shed. Inside, police found blankets, food wrappers, empty water bottles, clear signs someone had been living there. Detectives quickly focused on a former co-worker. Daniel had reported months earlier for violent behavior at work. The man had been fired and blamed Daniel for losing his job. Phone data placed the former co-worker near Daniel's house multiple nights that week. When arrested, he confessed to stalking Daniel. He admitted to hiding in the shed. He admitted to knocking on the door at 3:17 a.m. to scare him. But during interrogation, he strongly denied ever crawling beside the house. Detectives assumed he was lying until they reviewed the timestamps carefully. The crawling figure appeared on camera at 3:16 a.m. The knocking started at 3:17 a.m., exactly 1 minute later. That meant whoever was crawling beside Daniel's bedroom window was already there, before the stalker even approached. The front door? Investigators questioned the suspect again, but he refused to change his story. He insisted that when he knocked, he ran back toward the shed immediately. Forensic analysis confirmed something even more disturbing. The crawling figure never appeared entering the yard and never appeared leaving. None of the other cameras captured movement. No gates opened. No fence was disturbed. It was as if the figure simply appeared beside the house and then vanished. The former co-worker was sentenced for stalking and harassment, but officially cleared of being the person seen crawling in the backyard footage due to lack of physical evidence. Daniel moved out of the house within 2 weeks. He refused interviews after that. The home was later sold to a young couple. 6 months later, police received another late-night call from that address. The new homeowners reported someone knocking at their door. The time? 3:17 a.m. 3 slow, heavy knocks. Officers investigated again but found nothing suspicious. The case was eventually marked closed, blamed on the original stalking incident. But one detail was never publicly explained if the stalker was at the front door knocking. Who was outside the bedroom window? And why did the crawling stop only after Daniel left? Some neighbors claimed they occasionally heard knocking sounds long after the house was resold. Police refused further comment. To this day, the backyard footage has never been fully explained. And every year, around October, someone anonymously calls the local police station at 3:17 a.m. and hangs up after 3 seconds of silence. So the real question is, if you were alone in your house and heard 3 slow knocks at exactly 3:17 a.m., would you open the door?